got...
What have we got?
Crovet, which is for blow fly strike for the lambs. Protects them for... That's about 8 weeks, that one. You can do one that does a lot longer, but people tend to use that if they're putting lambs up on the moors and don't get seen as often. We found this works quite well for us. And then also wormer. That's the second dose of worm. They've had the first dose, a clear dose. This is that's that one.
And is that sheep and lambs?
What?
Wormed.
We're only doing lambs today.
Only lambs?
Yeah.
Right. The first job to do when we're going to get the sheep in is close all of the gates in the collection yard area. So I'm just going to do that before we head off up the field to bring them down. As you can see, it's a kind of gloomy day, everything looking lovely and green because of the rain, and the sun trying to poke through, but not particularly warm, not particularly cold. So we're spraying the lambs today to help prevent fly strike. Now the one at the back that I just pointed to, you can see had a very dirty back end and the maggots had got to it. It was in a bit of a state and we treated it that day, but unfortunately it died, which is a real shame, but it was weak, it was a triplet, it was very small. And we've got a nice pen of lambs here, as you can get a good idea of the size and the condition of them. On the whole, they're looking really well. There were a few that were a bit lame, so we treated those that day as well. Every time we pulled a pen of lambs in, we would just check to see that none of them were lame and make sure that everyone was all right. It was just that one lamb, unfortunately, that was in a poor state.
Well, we've got the sheep and lambs in today. This is the second worm for the lambs, and we're also going to treat them as well.
So in each pen,
Pardon?
in each pen, what we're going to do?
Worm them and fly treat them and let them go. And then if it's excessively dirty, just trim the...
What am I doing?
Marking the lambs with that red mark.
While we were sorting out the lambs, I noticed these two sheep having a head-to-head. So I guess it was the lead ewe getting a challenge. I've seen them do it in the field when we're bringing them in. And it is quite amusing, so I just thought we need some Rocky music, Rocky theme tune, so they're fighting it out. I think when we got started, we are always a bit slow and we have to find our way and find our system. But in this case, there was a bit too much space in the pen. And so the lambs were moving around a bit much and it's making it difficult to spray them. So after we did the first pen, we had an evaluation and we decided it would be better if I sprayed them whilst Dad wormed them. And then that way we would get the job done faster and we wouldn't need to mark them because the spray would act as the marker. And so we would drive them forward in the usual format, Dad working the gate, separating the lambs into the pen and just splitting the ewes off. Here's little Bambi, as you can see, very friendly still and looking really well. So it was time for me to don the plastic trousers as a protective measure for using the spray, and Dad also did put on a mask at one point, but I decided to go mask free. So off we go. As you can see, Dad is doing the worming drench and I'm using the spray to spray down the spine from the neck down to the tail and then either side of the tail on the back legs to give them a really good coverage, and then that's their marker to identify that they've been wormed. And it worked well as a really good system actually. It was much more effective than me just wandering around putting a mark on and then us starting from scratch. So we also got the job job done faster, and I was happy that I was able to put myself to good use. I really enjoy working with the lambs. I enjoy seeing how they've grown. I enjoy checking them over and making sure that they all look in good health, spotting the ones that we may have given some particular attention to, or the ones that had individual markings like Phantom and Minnie, and Bambi, of course. And just on the whole, it's a joy to work with Dad, and it's a joy to work with the animals. And at the moment, a lot of my time has been spent working on the campsite, so it makes it harder to find the time to fit in the farm work, but I always make sure that I do, because I absolutely love working on the farm and I really enjoy being able to help Dad, to work with Dad, and it's a really rewarding process for me to take part in the farm work, to learn more about the farm work, and to try and take on more of the tasks, like to do the spraying rather than just the marking, and to offer to try and learn how to do the worming as well, so that in the future, when Dad's not able to do it anymore, I will hopefully be a strong and capable enough shepherdess to manage the sheep on my own. And as you can see, our little sheep race system works really well, with the ewes walking off down to the side and the ewes wait outside in the collecting area whilst we work with a pen of lambs at a time. And we did bring a few in to the pen that were lame as well, sheep, hogs that needed treatment. So as you can see, bringing them out to treat the foot. That one was giving Dad the runaround, but we treated the feet for those. We have got a few hogs that are just permanently lame, not sure what to do about them, but we certainly wouldn't be a good idea to breed with them, so they may end up going into the farm shop. And here are the sheep and lambs where they wait outside after they've been treated. And it's certainly a good view for the campers who like to have a look at what's going on the farm, with the sheep working area being right behind the campsite. How's it going then, Dad?
Yeah, we're getting there. Hard work for those.
It's supposed to cover your mouth, not your eyes.
Is that better? Right?
Yeah. Growing up on the farm, I always remember seeing Dad and Grandad wearing masks to do the sheep dipping when we did traditional sheep dipping at the farm, but we don't do that anymore. But now in the UK we have to wear a mask when we go into a shop or in the supermarket, so mask wearing has become a little bit more of a day-to-day thing at the moment. So that's the job done, and it was time to turn the sheep back out. We put them back into the field at the bottom, which we call the Dale field, just overnight for them to get rid of the worms, if there were any worms present, and then the following day move the sheep onto new pasture. And the sheep were giving us a bit of a run around as we were trying to shepherd them out of the yard. If you see any lame ones in shot, they've been treated, and so sometimes after they've been treated, they're actually a little bit more footsore and a bit more lame before they get better. That's had its feet done. Go on. In the UK, we have store lamb sales that start up in around August time, and sometimes we have sold lambs in those sales in the past, but our plan for this year is to perhaps hold on and wait for the sales maybe a more near to October time. I think there might be a sale near us about the 9th of October. In the UK at the moment, the lamb prices are actually quite good. So it's a good time, a good market for selling, but because our lambs are not born until late April, some of them, they're not quite the same size as lambs that have been born earlier in the year. Go on. So it can be a bit of a gamble to sell in the earlier sales. So the strategy at the moment is to hold on to them for a bit longer. Go on, Doris, you're not getting with the script. So I hope you've enjoyed that little sheepy roundup, and thank you for watching if you made it all the way to the end. If you want to see more of our Dale Farm content, please don't forget to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel if you want to watch more of the same. And I'll be bringing you another video as soon as I can, and look forward to reading your comments. Take care everyone. Bye.
Must be. You can tell that